If I've learned anything from watching police procedural shows on TV, I know that serial killers stay to their own territory. That's just common sense. But I'm coming back. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave from the Wee Hours, and we are playing This Is the Police 2, a game which I hope is really good, but I'm gonna say is off to a bit of a bad start with me. So it's a mishmash of different styles from what I've seen so far. I kind of went through and did the tutorial area last night, and we'll come back to that thought in a second. It's got a little bit of time management. It's got a little bit of mystery solving. It's got a little bit of turn-based tactical combat, all good things. Here's why this game is off to a bad start with me. The opening tutorial cutscenes are a solid half hour. That's not a joke. That's not an exaggeration. If you go through all of the cutscenes that open the story and establish the narrative, it's about half an hour of your time. That's a long time to chew up with a story, and I'm gonna say it's not even that interesting. It's not even that interesting. So this game is kind of off to a bad start with me. I'm hoping it's going to improve, but you cannot chew up half an hour of my time. Half an hour of my time. And by the way, at the end of it, I started skipping through some of them, and it was still half an hour. It may go on longer for all I know. That's a long time to chew up on establishing the narrative. That's a little unacceptable in my world. So I'm really hoping it picks up from there, but we'll see. The other problem I had with the tutorial is when I came back to start recording this today, you can't skip through the tutorial. You are stuck with that. So you have to start all over again. There's no option to say, you know what, I've seen all these cutscenes, you can just cut straight to the action. No, 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 we're going to make you watch it again. And they were rather uninteresting, so I don't even know what the story is. I was watching the X-Files at the time, so I just kind of tuned into Mulder and Scully and tuned out this while I casually clicked through all the cutscenes. Here's what I can tell you about the story. We're a cop. This is a small town. I can tell you that you can get groceries delivered if you live in this town. There is home delivery available for groceries. Most of the police appear to be corrupt and on the take. And for some reason, VCRs are still a thing in this town. But there is a very limited selection of movies to play on them. Pretty much sequels to the same movie. So VCRs exist. You can get groceries delivered. Everyone is corrupt. Let's play some This Is the Police 2. And the first call that we've got is drug trafficking. Now, this will still be somewhat of a tutorial area. I went through the initial tutorial combat area, which is actually pretty cool. It's very XCOM-y, and I really dig it. Again, I'm hoping this picks up. I'm hoping I'm not just going to be permanently fussed about this game, but we'll see how it goes. So let's answer a drug trafficking call. All right, we've got two cops. That can't bode well. Fletcher and Bello, you're our guys. The neckties are hiding in a large batch of heroin in a house on the outskirts. Currently, that house is being rented by some old man. He's probably working with the ties and watching the goods. We need 600 professionalism to get this done. We've got 600 professionalism. That is convenient. So, Bello, you're in. Fletcher, you're in. Let's go raid a drug house. And we head out in our little cop car. Hi, little cop car. We're going to draw a nice red line all over the way to the drug house. You could probably move faster than that. You got your sirens on and stuff. Yeah, well, they weren't kidding. The drug house is on the outskirts of town. All right, what are we going to do here? Oh, it's another cutscene. Yeah, that was another 15-ish minutes of cutscenes. Unacceptable. I skipped through most of it. I couldn't even tell you what happened. I could not even tell you what happened. There was a guy with drugs, and he's in jail, and I skipped through the rest of it because that is just wholly unacceptable to kind of tie up my time with that. And for some reason, we've got a mystery going on. I don't know what the segue was for this. We just kind of clicked right to it, but we have the Secret of the Forbidden Flesh, and this looks neat. So what's going on? We've got a man in a wrestling mask who may be the culprit, or the victim's wife who may be the culprit. Let's check out some clues. Ruth Finnegan, who is the victim's wife, She went to the neighbor to borrow some salt, heard on their TV there's some crazy maniac started killing in Ripton. The journalist named him the Wrestler because he wears a wrestling mask. Okay, I got home and there's blood everywhere and Bob is nowhere to be found. You think that maniac came out all the way here from Ripton. All right, so the victim's wife is claiming that a masked serial killer killed her husband. Little suspicious, little suspicious. What was going on in the victim's home? In the bathroom, covered in blood. It looks like this was where the victim's corpse was butchered. All right, well, the wife did say there was a lot of blood in the house. That's fine. Who is Katerina Slurowski? She's a neighbor. Ruth came over to borrow some salt, okay, corroborating the wife's story. She works at the grocery store, but she's always missing something. And the victim was found in the grocery store. Interesting. She sat at my place for a while and then said she was going back to make dinner for Bob. I don't know how she put up with him. Typical man, walked around in a stupid t-shirt, spent the whole day staring at the TV. So Ruth decided to try being a vegetarian, and Bob wasn't really into that. Okay, she made vegetable soup without meat, and Bob was not happy and started swearing at her, and they almost got into a fight. So a little marital dispute in their home. The store counter. Victim's body parts were neatly laid out on the counter as if it were a display, and that is the store where the wife works. Crumpled garbage bag under the counter with traces of blood. Well, I think it's pretty clear that the body was moved from the house to the grocery store. That's blatantly obvious. The medical examiner says what? Victim's throat was cut in one single confident motion. Death came almost instantly. No signs of struggle. Corpse was dismembered after death. All right, so we need to put the pictures together from A to B. So from Bob Finnegan's house to bits of Bob Finnegan on the grocery store counter. And we've got all these photos that we can line up for that. So Bob and Ruth quarreling over the soup, Ruth sneaking up on Bob with a knife, Ruth slitting Bob's throat, and then the butchery happens. Or the other option is man in the wrestling mask sees Bob Finnegan through the window. With a hacksaw, he comes up and, yeah, see, here's the thing with that. Man in a wrestling mask cuts Bob Finnegan's throat with a hacksaw. We just read the medical examiner cut in one single confident motion. I don't think you're getting that with a hacksaw. But on the same token, how would Ruth have chopped up that body with just a kitchen knife? This is actually a bit of a mystery. Because she seems more likely to have wanted to kill him, but I don't think she could have chopped up the body with a kitchen knife. A hacksaw would do the job, though. And then he cuts up Bob's corpse, and he goes into the grocery store, and apparently he watches TV afterwards with, I think, a friend also in a wrestling mask. You know what? Whatever you do in your personal life is fine by me. It's totally cool. I was immediately sold on the wife, but I'm not so sure about that now because you're not going to chop up a body with a kitchen knife. That's just, you're not cutting through bone unless you get a hacksaw. I think it might have been the serial killer. And I'm really kind of surprised by that because the wife has the much more obvious motive. Why would a serial killer come all the way to a different town? If I've learned anything from watching police procedural shows on TV, I know that serial killers stay to their own territory. That's just common sense. But I'm coming back. I keep coming back to the hacksaw. I think the guy looks at Bob through the window. I think he sneaks up on Bob. I think he slashes Bob's throat with a hacksaw. And I think he cuts them all up. And then I think he takes him to the grocery store. Yeah, Hector Campo. Oh, you already know who the serial killer is. Well, why is he still at large then? That doesn't make any sense. If you know who he is. Yeah, I think the wrestler did it. I may be letting the wife off with the perfect murder, but I think the wrestler did it. Yes, let's press charges for that suspect. Well, another rather long and very vague cutscene later, which didn't bring me any resolution to the serial killer thing. I would assume that once we've indicted someone, there might be some sort of resolution, like, yes, that was the right guy, or no, it wasn't. Maybe that comes later. Maybe, justice does not actually move that quickly in the real world, so maybe we'll find out down the road if we made the right choice. But I'd really like to know if that was the right suspect that we arrested. And we've now moved on for no readily explainable reason to a necktie base assault, after, again, a rather vague cutscene about standing outside the base and being very quiet outside the base. There was actually just long periods of time of just looking at a picture and in complete silence. So that really needs to get cleared up. I can't be doing this entire game with interminably long cutscenes that don't really help me in any way. But we've got things to do. It says so right down here. Things to do. We interrogate the necktie. Apparently we did that. It's probably in a cutscene I skipped. Get all information available. Apparently we've done that. Outfit and assign your strike team. Apparently we've done that too. So let's proceed with whatever it is we're going to be doing here. Oh, we're going to be doing another cutscene. Awesome. Well, we didn't get to do the base assault. Apparently that was handled off-screen for me and replaced with about 27 minutes more of cutscenes. Yeah. I assume it was that long. I skipped a lot of them, but it took a very, very long time. So the base assault, the one thing I was really looking forward to because it would have been XCOM-style turn-based tactical combat, that just sort of happened off-screen and was replaced with the follow-up. The best I can tell you is one of the cops died, and the guy who had the groceries delivered to him was, I think, an undercover cop? I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me on that. It's a lot of story. It's a whole lot of story. I really want to like this game because the mechanics and the mix of mechanics are interesting. But boy, wow, you're tying up a lot of my life. I'm getting closer to death watching cutscenes. But we're back, and it's 12 o'clock on November 22nd, and apparently Meridian is hammered and can't come into work today. Alcoholism seems to be a perennial problem amongst the police in this town. It's probably because they only have VCRs and, not DVDs or anything else at all. Digital, guys, go digital maybe. But he drank too much and doesn't think he can hold it together today. Okay. And Penkin, Mr. Nash, I'm so glad to be on your team, but he's a guitar specialist, so he needs to set up our instruments right away, and he's not coming into work because he's going to go perform at a concert. Okay, Penkin. I know Penkin is kind of an inside joke in this game. I've learned enough about the game to know that. But we've got some cops, so that's good. Belmont, is there a reason you have an eye patch on? Have you been injured in some way? Should you be on duty? Should you be a cop? You only have one eye. All right, well, Flower Pot seems pretty solid. 395 professionalism, excellent negotiator, pretty good on intelligence and speed, too. Ooh, I'm seeing good things for you in the future, Flower Pots. Who else has got some things going on? Rosencrantz is kind of an all-rounder. He's got some stats in just about everything. Not that good at the shooting. Not so good at the shooting. We may hopefully be able to boost that up. Yeah, the drunk cop Meridian is not so great at much of anything. Aranovich is not so bad. He's smart. He's got that going for him. And he has an awesome beard. So there's that as well. Okay, let's get these guys on duty. We've got stuff. We could assign all our stuff. We've got tasers. We have taser cartridges, stun grenades, pepper spray, shockers, batons. I am just going to go with auto-assign. You know what, game? I don't even want to tie up any more time. You tell me what I need. You tell me. Let's go ahead and start the day. Well, where the heck did all these cops come from? I don't remember these guys being here. Oh, hang on. This is time sensitive. Okay, disorderly conduct in the Smelly Goose Bar. All right, let's get on our way. Let's just pause that. Time sensitive here. The Smelly Goose Bar. Drunken worker parked his truck sideways, blocking in several cars. When the owner of the other cars asked him to move, the man climbed onto the roof of his truck and ordered the dogs beneath him to shut their yaps. I'm largely inclined to agree with him. I think we should just let this man be the mayor of our town. He seems to be the most sensible man in this town. And he didn't tie up my time. That was a nice, short, tight sentence he gave. Where did all these guys come from? I saw 6 cops, and now I've got a small militia of police here. Oh, great, super. We need 300 professionalism to send this call, to get this call done. Wow. Meridian, I thought you weren't even on duty. I thought you weren't even coming in today. Are you available? I thought you weren't coming in. Okay, well, apparently he showed up. Maybe he came in, but he quote-unquote can't hold it together. Maybe that's why his professionalism is so low right now. I don't know. And let's get somebody a little solid here. Kurosawa, I'm going to tell you right now, the necktie tied around your head as a bandana is not acceptable in my department, but I'm going to let it slide for now. That brings us up to 285 professionalism. Spurlock, you're kind of low. Why don't you just flesh out the team there? Okay, good. Yeah, let's send these guys to the Smelly Goose Bar. Nope, apparently not. I'm not going to mess around babysitting losers like Meridian. Yeah, I'm actually inclined to agree with you, Spurlock. That's a sensible choice. Give me a normal partner, a professional. So she will not work with him. Okay. What if I take him out? I agree with you, lady. He is a loser. I'm not disagreeing with you. And put Belmont in instead. Do you like Belmont any better? Nope, you're not working with Belmont. Do you need a certain level of professionalism? Ah, okay. Because those are both very low professional cops. All right, what if I maybe put in Climsy? Climsy. He's 275. Do you like him more? Yeah, you like him. Okay, so you need, I'm going to guess, above 100 professionalism, seeing as Belmont checked in at 95. So you need more professional people on your team if you're going to go out and do that. P.S. I did actually give you an order to go and do a job. I don't think as a police officer you just get to refuse things. Like, no, I'm not going. That doesn't seem right. Okay, we're on the site. He's standing on the roof of his truck, relieving himself in the general vicinity of anyone who approaches. We could drive into the truck with a patrol car. That seems extreme for right now. We could shoot the drunken worker with a taser, but I didn't bring out anyone with a taser, so we can't do that. Or we can try and talk to him. Anyone decent at negotiation? Kurosawa, you're the only one who has any negotiation skill at all, so let's pick you. And why don't you see if you can talk him off the ledge and maybe get him to zip up his pants. Hey, mister, there's a fire over here. We need your help. 516 Drunken worker hurries to the rescue, jumping from the roof of the truck without even fastening his pants. I really would have preferred he fastened his pants first. Back on the ground, he was greeted by a cop who easily placed him under arrest. Super. All right, good job, Kurosawa. You can keep the necktie bandana for right now. And you have actually leveled up. Well, good. Okay, and we can put a point into something. Well, you're kind of lacking in virtually everything. Why don't you be, you know what, you kind of got a ninja thing going on with the bandana. Why don't you be stealthy? Let's put a point into stealth. Oh, and you got a perk for that, the shadow perk. Can spend one action and move right in front of the enemy without even noticing. See, you are a ninja, Kurosawa. Excellent, excellent. And another perk? Wow, this game's pretty liberal with the perks here. Chameleon. Police hides better under small cover. Okay, all right, well, if you're going to be generous with the perks, I'll take them. Oh, and Spurlock leveled up. You didn't even do anything. You ignored my orders, and you didn't do anything. Why do you get to level up? You have skills. Why don't we put a point into shooting? You look like somebody who wants to shoot somebody. And you have also gained a perk. All right, the interception perk. Spend your remaining action finishing his move. And then you can... Okay, you got an Overwatch. The cop can fire at the first criminal he sees. Okay, you have an XCOM-like Overwatch move. Super. All right. And another perk. Wow. Like candy with the perks here. The shooter perk. Small bonus to accuracy and takes no penalty when shooting at an opponent in cover. Wow, that's really good. That's an excellent perk. Okay, cool. Anyone else want to level up? Nope. Okay. Oh, another time-sensitive one. Hang on. All right, let's get here. The Garmer Funeral Home. A girl entered the vault, stole an urn filled with ashes, and is trying to escape. Okay. All right. That sounds rather innocuous. I don't think we need to send the A-team for that one. Flower pots. You're excellent at negotiation. And just from the sound of the call, this sounds like something we can probably talk our way out of. So let's definitely send flower pots, and actually she's all we need. You know what, flower pots? You're all we need. Go ahead and send flower pots over there. We don't have to put any more cops on there. There's no particular reason to. You guys are heading back. Okay. Girl with an urn in one hand is climbing outside through a small storage window. Seeing a cop, she screams, "Don't touch me, I'm fulfilling the last will of my beloved. Her parents would rather die than let me destroy her ashes." Well, Flowerpots, you're the only one on the team. Convince the girl to try and reach an understanding with the deceased parents, grab the girl by the foot, or run out of the funeral home and intercept the girl on the street. You actually look like you could cover all of those, Flowerpots. You've got some really good skill, but let's just see if we can talk her down here. I don't think there's any reason to start grabbing people or intercepting people, and you have excellent negotiation skills. So I'm kind of counting on you doing this. You're right, we must transform hatred into love, otherwise what's there to live for? So true, so true. Girl then surrenders to the police, and the urn returns intact to its proper shelf. Good job, Flowerpots. I see big things for you. Big things for you, Officer Flowerpots. Look at that, you've leveled up already. Well, the only thing you're not good at yet is shooting, so let's put a point into that. Make you a really strong all-rounder. You get the interception perk again, and you also get the shooter perk. Okay, cool. Very liberal with the perks. Oh, another time-sensitive. Okay, what do we got? Police impersonation. A man in a police uniform is standing at the entrance to the city, slowing everyone down and demanding money. Well, that's no good. Let's get this kind of a... I'm not really sure what that's going to turn into, so let's get sort of a all-round team here. Let's get some people with everything. You're pretty good at intelligence. I don't know why that's going to come up, but it might. Sheeny. Oh, you're really... Actually, you're great. You're as good as Flowerpots. Can I just fire everyone and just have Flowerpots and Sheeny? Yeah, you're on board, Sheeny. Absolutely. And that is all we need, and I frankly think Sheeny might be all we need. Let's go ahead and get to that call while the other two teams are coming back. And did they wave to each other as they pass? I hope they wave. I like to think that they wave to each other. Okay, the first team just got back to the police station. That's good. They're a little bit tired from that, but not very much. They could certainly do another call or two. And wherever this guy is, he's in the middle of nowhere. Let's keep moving here. There we go. Are we there? Are we there yet? A man in a policeman uniform is standing on the side of the road counting some money. We could turn on the siren. We could order him to surrender. Or, "Hi there, colleague. You going to share your earnings?" Well, I have a vague understanding that all these cops are on the take, but let's not actually promote that. Let's start by being good cops, and we'll see where the game takes us from there. I'm not sold on the idea, but we're going to start by being the good guys. If the game takes us in a darker direction, I'm okay with hopping on board with that, just as long as hopping on board with that doesn't mean another 14 hours of cutscenes. Sheeny, you're good at everything. Why don't you just flat out order him to surrender? Let's just see if we can just put this to bed right now. Yeah, confirm that. Man in the police uniform obeys the cop and surrenders. It turns out that his deceased mother-in-law, who worked as a cleaner at the police station, helped him get the uniform. Cool. Excellent. Good job, Sheeny. I think you and Flower... Why does Aranovich level up? He sat in the car, probably trimming his beard. But okay, let's give you a point of speed. Let's see what... Yeah, I was going to say, let's see what Christmas the perks will give us. The volley perk... Shoot his revolver 3 times in a row. Wow. Accuracy will suffer a little. Well, it's still a solid perk. And the ferret perk, better chance of dodging enemy shots. That is a good thing to do, because you are going to be a target with that beard, Aranovich. Criminals are going to look at that beard and want to shoot it. I'm just telling you that right now. And Sheeny, of course, leveled up. So you can take... Ooh, you're pretty good on everything. Let's get you another point of intelligence. That will be good. Hunter perk disarms explosive devices and notices traps. Super. Excellent. What else did you get? Really? You only got 1 perk? Everyone else got 2 perks. Why'd you only get 1 perk? Oh, well. And apparently that ends the day. 3 calls. 3 very successful calls, I think. Okay, 3 criminals arrested, and we get beer tabs as currency, because that's the kind of town this is. 15 beer tabs to spend on what? Oh, we could get some new cops. Springer, Sullivan, Marshall's looking pretty good. 480 professionalism. I can't afford him, but 480 professionalism. We didn't use any of our equipment, so I don't really see the reason to buy equipment. And we could get another shocker. That's not a bad thing, because, you know, we can shock people. It's there in the title. Let's get another cop. Let's take Sullivan. Yeah, Sullivan seems pretty solid, and he comes with his own pepper spray, which is good. I'm really concerned that you have your own pepper spray at home that you brought with you, but I'm gonna hire you anyway, Sullivan. Yeah, let's get him. That's it. I'll bank the other 10 there. That'll we'll save that for a rainy day in this VCR ridden town. And now we get to pick tomorrow's shift. But let's do that in the next episode. We'll pick up some more of This Is the Police 2. Unless it bogs me down with another 7 hours of cutscenes, I will see you in the next episode of this. Until then, I'm Dave. Thank you, as always, for joining me in the wee hours, and we'll see you next time.